All right, Miss Kerry O'Neill, good to see you again. This is one of my favorite questions I ask leaders who care is, who's been an influencer, or maybe more than one, in your life?
Sure. I mean, the one that is foremost in my mind is Brian Garcia. And Brian Garcia leads the Connecticut Green Bank. He was the inaugural leader of the Connecticut Green Bank that was formed through bipartisan legislation back in 2011. But Brian and I first were business partners together in a consultancy we called Earth Markets, a people, planet, profit consultancy. And we also created a nonprofit together. And Brian was the one who made me see that I could take all of my kind of business expertise that I had accumulated over the years in strategy and marketing and finance and operations and product development, and I could apply it in the world of clean energy and climate change. So I met Brian in early 2008 when I had quit my corporate job and wanted to figure out doing something around climate change. And I had been doing my own research and I'd come up with kind of an interesting business model. Brian at that time was running the Center for Business and Environment at Yale University, running the dual degree program between the School of Management and the School of Forestry and Environmental Services. And when I talked to Brian about my idea, he's like, oh my God, I have the same idea. Except that he was coming at it from, deeply rooted within the state of Connecticut and the energy market and the regulatory markets and the Public Utility Commission and what have you. And so we kind of clicked and we, it's like almost like two halves of a whole back then. But he was my guide to learning this new, sector that I didn't really know anything about, but I was passionate about. I wanted to learn about it. And he also, gave me a platform to, pursue these ideas. When he went to the Connecticut Green Bank to run, this inaugural green bank and, first state green bank in the country, he brought me in to run the residential financing programs and, basically said, like, you got this, like, go, do, create, build a team. I'm here for you. And it just was a phenomenal experience. And he's kind, he's smart, he's super creative. He gives a ton of autonomy, but support, really thoughtful. Like, you go to him and you have like an initial kind of thought or kernel and you lay it out for him and he gives you all this like fantastic feedback from all these different directions, and you go off and you do more and you come back and he helps you refine it further. So just, hugely influential in what I'm doing today and why I'm doing it today. If I hadn't met him and we hadn't done those kind of initial business nonprofit things together, I wouldn't ultimately be here at Inclusive Prosperity Capital doing what I'm doing now. And a great friend and just a great human being, and role model for how you support your team, how you build a good team, but also, how you partner and reach out to stakeholders and really be really expansive with your vision and your notion of what you can accomplish. There is no limit to what you can accomplish with Brian. The sky's the limit. And being in that environment versus in so many corporate settings that I had been in prior to that, you didn't feel that kind of unbridled, unlimited potential to, dominate the world in a really positive, productive way, and that's something that Brian taught me and that I try to carry forward into, our team at Inclusive Prosperity Capital.
Well, it certainly sounds like he did a good job being the leader who cares about you. Because you're bringing the energy and that's fantastic. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
Sure.